If the really important thing is crypto right now is $2.7 trillion industry. It'll probably finish this cycle at $10 to $15 trillion. And by 2030 or so, it'll be $100 trillion, right? This is the largest, fastest accumulation of wealth in all human history. Here's your opportunity. You can make 100x, 1000x, 10,000x. We've seen them all in the last 2 months. It's simple. Number go up. That's the whole crypto thematic that you need to know. You can either do all the deep dive, and I must have done 10,000 hours on this, and I might be at the right side of the curve sometimes, but I don't mind being the left either. Just don't overthink it. The moment you overthink it, that's when you get yourself into trouble and you start not seeing it for what it is, you see it for what you want it to be.
With the Bitcoin having arriving in about 2 weeks, investors and institutions have been watching Bitcoin's every move, looking for a signal on when to sell in case either a massive surge or a collapse were to happen. But in Raoul Pal's latest interview, he assures everyone that this revolutionary asset is about to skyrocket. From what he said, there is no need to overthink and overcomplicate. To him, crypto is our ultimate opportunity to gain massive wealth, with Pal even stating the possibility of 10,000x returns, as we've seen in the past 2 months following the demand surge driven by the Bitcoin ETFs. Let us now view clips of Raoul Pal as he shares his powerful expert insights. Make sure to stay through the end of the video where Pal explains why it's only a matter of time before global crypto adoption. Thank you and enjoy.
Ever feel like you're wasting your money on things that don't really matter? Stop. You don't have time. Don't miss out on this 2025 bull run. Educate yourself now. Don't spend $12.50 on junk. Educate yourself on how to be successful in crypto using our crypto cheat guide. Unlock the secrets of crypto and make smarter investments today. Visit the website now on the link in the description for your exclusive copy. Start your journey to crypto success today.
Please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to drop your comment and observations in the comment section below. Thanks and enjoy the video.
Let me show you a chart. I'm going to share a chart just because it's the best chart in the world to understand this. This is the banana zone. So what happens at about this point in time, what we call crypto summer, we have this little shuffle around the all-time highs, and then everything just goes bananas. So I don't care whether this is tomorrow or in a month's time, because to Phil's point, the number about to go up. And don't overcomplicate it. Everyone will overcomplicate this. They'll be looking at weekly charts, daily charts, hourly charts, tick chart. Just forget it. You should have a year plus to make a lot of money. This crypto market is the biggest gift retail investors have ever been given. Here's your opportunity. You can make 100x, 1000x, 10,000x. We've seen them all in the last 2 months. And so of course it's going to attract people, and it's rational behavior because they don't have a way out. So even Phil, your example of Bitcoin going from 60,000 to $1 million, that's a 14x. That's not going to move the dial for somebody with $5,000. So they have to take risk, and it's super risky and everybody knows it. It's a wedge right now, right? That'll be the last chance saloon. A mini wedge, but that's it. That's all you're going to get. And after that becomes unbuyable. And how long does that wedge take to complete? Does it complete this week? Does it complete in 2 weeks' time? Doesn't really matter. If you go to the ludicrous thing that Paul Tudor Jones mentioned a while ago, and Stan Druckenmiller talked about, is 80% of Bitcoin holders don't sell. And it's the same with Ethereum, with the staking and everything else. So your actual supply is 20% plus the miners. The miners keep getting halved every 4 years. So you've got no supply. So that's 20% of the let's say of the entire asset class, 2.7 trillion is actually available to buy. You bring something like an ETF and things go bananas, right? The more people who adopt it, the more the price rises. Also, the really key thing is, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the chart from Fidelity about the risk reward of assets. It's brilliant. So there's this big white page, all Fidelity branded, and here's a cluster of here's the NASDAQ, and here's gold, and here's oil, and here's all of that. They're all clustered in the bottom. Then there's a blank page, blank page, blank page, blank page, blank page, dot, Bitcoin. It's a fucking alien asset class. We have never, ever had an asset class with this risk reward over a long-term time horizon and this performance in all of human history. It's pretty common around the all-time highs that, people take some chips off the table. We're seeing long-term wallet addresses taking some chips off the table. It's pretty common.
Yeah.
Ahead of the halving. Then it normally goes into what I refer to as the banana zone. And that's when you get the real price action. So the real price action hasn't happened yet.
In other news, the Federal Reserve has apparently quietly primed Bitcoin for a perfect price storm, according to Forbes. Russ Mould, investment director at brokerage A.J. Bell, has stated that Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has warned of a risk of having to delay cuts thanks to stubborn inflationary pressures. Despite this warning, investors are sure that a rate cut is coming at some point this year. Now, what does this mean for Bitcoin? Well, rate cuts often lead investors to seek higher yields, making Bitcoin a perfect alternative asset for investments. It is often seen as a hedge against the challenges of traditional finance and a safeguard for wealth, which in turn could drive up the demand prices to insane levels. Let us now return to Raoul as he discusses the massive growth of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies.
So I discovered this chart back in 2020. And what it is the number of active wallets in crypto.com measure this, versus the, active IP addresses of the internet. And I always thought, well, this is a network adoption model, the same kind of thing. It's an adoption of a technology. And I wonder what they look like. And I put them over each other. And what we found was that obviously, because the internet was the rails that already exists, the adoption of a new technology that uses those rails is faster. And it's actually twice the speed of the internet. So if you can get your heads around how big the internet was for all of us, this is happening at twice the speed. It's driven the fastest appreciating asset of all time. The compounded annual returns of, let's say, Bitcoin is about 150% a year, even with 80% drawdowns 4 times in the middle of it. We've literally never been given an asset like this with an adoption like this. And going forwards, if we just assume that the rate of growth just matches that of the internet from here until the end of 2025, we end up with 1 billion users. And if we extrapolate that out to 2030, we get to 4 billion users. So basically, this is a pervasive technology that's going to take over all of our lives in ways we don't really understand. It's not just going to be about investing in cryptocurrencies. It's just going to be the underlying rails of transactions. 500 million wallets. Now, people will say, well, they're not all active and everyone's got multiple wallets. I hear you. That's all a mid-curve take. Basically, it's growing massively. And if we looked at IP addresses, how many IP addresses do we all have? We have multiple. So it's just an easy way of referencing the growth. Wait till Taylor Swift has a token economy or sports teams properly. This is where it's going.
Yeah.
Right. We're going to a world where we will have equity in our culturally important things to us. In a world of AI replacing jobs, this is the future. You can't see it yet because it's super speculative and it's super early. But what we're doing is we're creating little mini groups of tokenized economies around ideas, memes, culture. We're tokenizing culture. And as you rightly say, Howard, this was a moment that people look back on, much like they'll look back on NFTs from last cycle. NFTs in the end are going to be every single ticket, every single contract. But that was the start. It happened to be art. If the really important thing is, crypto right now is $2.7 trillion industry. It'll probably finish this cycle at $10 to $15 trillion. And by 2030 or so, it'll be $100 trillion, right? This is the largest, fastest accumulation of wealth in all human history. It's as simple as that. That's what that chart tells you. Now, what everybody does, and Howard, you explained, there is a bell curve. And you want to be on the left of the bell curve, which is actually the same as being the Jedi Master on the right of the bell curve. Everybody in the middle who overthinks it, it's simple. Number go up. That's the whole crypto thematic that you need to know. You can either do all the deep dive, and I must have done 10,000 hours on this, and I might be at the right side of the curve sometimes, but I don't mind being the left either. Just don't overthink it. The moment you overthink it, that's when you get yourself into trouble and you start not seeing it for what it is, you see it for what you want it to be.
Meanwhile, Bitcoin is currently trading at around $67,000 as of making this video. What's interesting is that Bitcoin's price has actually skyrocketed by 658% since its last halving event in 2020. According to an analysis from TradingView, if historical data were to repeat itself, Bitcoin could experience a massive price surge of about $434,280 per coin after the next halving in 2028. But it's worth noting that Bitcoin's post-halving rallies have had diminishing returns over the years. While the first halving in 2012 saw an exponential increase of over 12,400%, subsequent halvings resulted in more moderate rallies of 5,200% and 1,200% by 2016 and 2020, respectively. This diminishing returns trend suggests that Bitcoin's average price rallies have fallen by 45% with each cycle, leading to questions about its future performance. If this pattern were to continue, analysts project a 360% rally during the next cycle, potentially resulting in a Bitcoin price of approximately $303,600 at the 2028 halving. With all of this said, what do you believe will happen to Bitcoin's value for this year and the years to come? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated with more content on all the latest news in crypto and digital finance, be sure to give us a like for support, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you won't miss out on our latest videos. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you at our next one.